My name is Alyson Thomas from the LGBTQ History Museum of Central Florida, and I'm here interviewing Alyson Thomas on October 3rd, 2021, recorded at the venue in Fort Lauderdale, as part of the museum's project in capturing the oral history of Florida's LGBTQ community. With us is Jose Arajo recording this interview. Alyson Thomas has played an important role in the development of Florida's female impersonation pageantry through her recreation of Miss Florida in keeping up with Keith Landon's tradition. Since the 1960s, the art of female impersonation has played a significant part in intersecting the LGBTQ community with other national pageants. In keeping with the museum's determination to uncover Central Florida's ties with other focal points of queer spaces in Florida, we have been invited to participate and document the Miss Florida Female Impersonator pageant. Alyson, could you start us off by telling us a little bit about yourself, your childhood, and your life?
My name is Alyson Thomas. I'm the president and CEO of the Miss Florida F.I pageantry system. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. I grew up as a Hasidic Jew, and I have been in Florida about 20 years. My background is in real estate, marketing, and accounting. I came to South Florida to work in the nightclub industry, worked in some very prominent nightclubs, both gay and straight, up until 2018. In 2018, I transitioned out of the nightclub industry back into corporate America. I work as a senior accountant. And I have been the president and CEO of Miss Florida since 2014.
Perfect. So I want to transition to your recreation of Miss Florida. Can you tell me a bit about the history of female impersonation in Florida and your personal connection and how you got to be a part of it?
Well, I'm going to digress for just a moment and explain that I started out becoming a promoter for the Continental Pageantry System, which was pretty much taken into the history of Miss Florida is what created Continental. The illusion of the beauty of these girls and what was going on in the early 1970s. I became a Continental promoter in the early 2000s and have attended Continental for 27 years. My love for the art form and the system and the formers gave me the ability to form a bond with all of the formers, which a lot of the former Miss Continentals are former Miss Floridas. We're one big family, we all get along very, very well. With that said, Keith Landon was the original creator of Miss Florida in 1972, 49 years ago. Next year we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Miss Florida. When Keith passed away, Rene Rodriguez took over Miss Florida. He was known for Rene's Disco Theater in Tampa, which is where many of the Miss Floridas performed, and that was the home base for Miss Florida. When Rene passed away, Victor Zepka, owner of the Boardwalk here in Fort Lauderdale, took over as owner. And in 2014, I struck a deal with Victor to take over the pageant. And for the past 7 years, it has been under my direction and guidance. When you take over a legacy pageant, the hardest part is maintaining the history and the elegance of the pageant. So many things have changed in the world when it comes to drag and pageantry, male and female impersonation. However, I've kept the history of Miss Florida as the base of how we create the pageant, the platform, the venue, the treatment of the formers, and the level of elegance that is expected to be in Miss Florida. Miss Florida was looked at as the best of the best for many years, as is Continental, Miss Gay US of A, and Miss Gay America. They're all considered national pageants. Although Miss Florida at the moment is only for residents of the state of Florida, it is our intention next year for the 50th anniversary to open it back as a national pageant throughout the United States. Miss Florida overall is a collection of some of the iconic entertainers that began this industry for what it is today. Living and dead, they are all equally in the public eye through Facebook, Instagram, social media in general. I make it a point to always post and acknowledge the history of how we got to where we are today. It's very, very important that the new generation that is exposed to drag in a totally different way gets to understand where it started from and the sacrifices that were made by the girls that started Miss Florida in the 1970s.
How has Miss Florida played in the national view in terms of pageantry?
Miss Florida has always been recognized as the social event of the season. For most of the 1980s and 1990s, Miss Florida was always held in South Beach. Red carpet event, bringing out city officials, Hollywood celebrities, fashion designers. It was known as the best of the best. I mean, people came in limousines and tuxedos and gowns, and it was highly publicized. It was highly recognized as a pageant as important as regular Miss Universe, regular Miss America on that level. The industry has changed a lot where people are not as formal as they used to be, but we still try to maintain the fact of giving you a beautiful venue. We're not just in a dark bar room with regular tables. You know, we bring out the elegance, the fashion, the linen, the tablecloths, the design. We give you a comfortable room to have a beautiful place to host the pageant.
You mentioned South Florida. Has Miss Florida ever been done in Central Florida?
Miss Florida has always been held in South Florida. It was always in Miami Beach until 2016 when I moved it to Fort Lauderdale for a lot of reasons. First and foremost, the ability to get in and out of hotels, the ability and the fact that Wilton Manors is the gayest city in America, and all of us live and work around here. Miami Beach has gotten very difficult to get in and out. The cost is prohibitive. Central Florida has played a role for Miss Florida, as Miss Florida at large was always held at the world famous Parliament House up until its closing. So Miss Florida at large was always hosted in Central Florida and Miss Florida in South Florida. Because of many different factors, it's all been moved here into one weekend in South Florida, also for the convenience of not only the contestants, but the judges, the fans and friends that come travel from all over the world. It's easier to travel one location, one weekend, and it's all done. So we're taking into mind the cost of travel, the situation with COVID and social distancing, and just making it just a fun weekend.
In what ways has pageantry changed over the course of your career?
Pageantry has changed tremendously. Early on, it was solely about beauty and transition from male to female. Nowadays, it's more about self-expression. It's more about being able to show your diversity, whether you're male, whether you're female, whether you live as a transsexual female, or if you live as a boy queen. Miss Florida is welcome to everyone. We don't discriminate as to what you consider yourself within the word drag. In the early days, pageantry was primarily for the girls that looked female, that had a great talent, that had the components to create a package that people wanted to see, to perceive. Where today, bearded queens are accepted. In my generation, that would never have been allowed. These days, you can be transitioned to female and still enter a drag pageant. Back in the day, unless you were still male, you could not do that. Many pageant owners have different views. Pageantry in the early days was basically the only way, the only outlet that gay people had to express themselves. These days, with television, with social media, with all the different outlets, you can work in a bar or a brunch and be known all over the world. In the 70s and 80s, it was about the video of a pageant is what gave you your name. Today, you go on any TV show, where we have transgender people in every part of media. They're on TV, they're in movies. The focus has changed so much in this generation right now. and the new kids coming up, and I call them kids because to me, they are kids, they're learning, but we want them to learn from the history that we created for the last 49 years.
You mentioned outlets. What role do you think pageantry has played in the development of Florida's or even the US's LGBTQ history and community, like its movements?
The people that win a pageant or enter a pageant get exposure nationwide. That exposure can give them the ability to be seen by an agent or a manager that brings them in to do a movie, brings them into a TV show. A lot of the Miss Floridas have gone on to great careers because of being Miss Florida. Both living and dead, they're all considered legendary and iconic. And a lot of people use the word legendary or iconic in the wrong term. A lot of the young generation calls someone that's been on stage for 5 years legendary. To me, legendary are the Miss Floridas from the 1970s that for 40, 50 years have maintained a name and maintained a presence. So pageantry has allowed these girls careers, more than just being a pageant queen or a pageant king. It has given them exposure worldwide.
What are some of the positive and negative attributes that you've noticed in pageantry?
I think the negative attribute is there is always someone with an opinion. At the end of the day in pageantry, there can only be one winner. You can be the best there is and not win, but the judges all have critiques and look at things in a different light. That's why we have a variety of judges. In the Miss Florida system, we have an odd number of judges, 7. We drop the high and low to make it fair. If somebody has a favorite contestant or judges incorrectly, we try to make sure our judges are professional, well-trained, and well-versed in what we're looking for as far as choreography, fashion, modeling, talent, personality. It all plays a role. However, the best of the best could think they win, and they don't win because somebody else got a higher score. It is what it is. It's just like when you look at an award show. You know that this person played the best role in a movie, but someone else wins. It is what it is. The negativity comes from fans, and what I call keyboard fans that love to get on social media and spread rumors and gossip. The positivity is, at the end of the day, we have a great time. We are a family, Family Miss Florida. We get together once a year and it becomes a family reunion. And that reunion grows over time. We welcome the oldest Miss Floridas to the brand new ones and treat them all the same. That to me is the most positive fact, that we have created a chosen family. And the bond is there because of Miss Florida.
Where do you see Miss Florida in the next 10 years?
Where do I see Miss Florida in the next 10 years? Well, October 2nd and October 3rd, 2022 will be the 50th anniversary of Miss Florida. There's only one pageant older than Miss Florida, and that is Miss Gay America by just a few months. So I'm very proud of the fact that we have almost a 50-year history, a history that's going to continue because it is my life's work to continue this legacy for as long as I'm able to. This pageant is not done for money. This pageant is not a profit center. This pageant is a mission of love. It is all done from my heart. Everyone involved in Miss Florida has either been involved for a very long time or shares the same common goal of keeping the legacy alive. It's history that can never, ever be changed. We have molded ourselves to be the platform of excellence. There has been, like in any business, ups and downs, good and bad, mistakes have been made, but our vision for the future is to enhance and give an opportunity to male entertainers and female impersonators to showcase their craft and their talent for the world to see.
What would you say to young LGBTQ people, whether who are interested in female impersonation or not, who will come into the future? Do you have any advice for them?
My biggest advice to the younger generation is always be yourself. Never let somebody stop you from your dreams, whatever they are. Whoever you are, however you express yourself, that is the freedom of expression. This is about being creative, being artistic, but most importantly, learning from it and making sure that you are respectful to those that came before you. That to me is the most important thing for the young people coming up. They have it so easy compared to what the early generation had. The early generation could not work in a bar without winning a talent show, could not go to a bar dressed female. They had to come to a bar dressed male. It was against the law to be in women's clothing outside. They went through a lot of obstacles to get on a stage and to keep on a stage. It took a lot. There also weren't the outlets that are available today to learn. Back in the 70s, the girls learned from magazines. They learned from watching movies. They didn't have what they call drag mothers or drag fathers. They didn't have the support system that's available today. Today it's recognized, it's accepted. It's okay to be gay, it's okay to be transgender. Yes, there's haters, and there always will be haters. And there always will be people against the community. But then there's also the other side of the spectrum where the world has accepted LGBTQ. And there's no reason that anybody should be treated any differently as long as they're a good person.
Is there anything else that you'd like to discuss or point out?
I think it is wonderful and amazing to have opportunities like this to educate the public on what the true meaning is of being in a pageant, and that a pageant is not looked at or reflected as just a contest. It's a lot more than the contest, it's a lot more than the stage. It is a family, a thread that grows and grows and grows and continues to develop over time.
Thank you, Alyson, for your time here with us today. The LGBTQ History Museum in Florida and I are greatly appreciative of the amount of information you provided in order to add this to our reservoir of LGBTQ history. Thank you.
Thank you.